Hi everyone, so today is day 5 of our Cricut Christmas crafting challenge and we will be making these super cute and very easy Christmas ornaments. For today's craft we're going to use our Cricut cutting machine, a standard grip cutting mat. We're using my glue gun, some ribbon, permanent adhesive vinyl in whichever color you want, transfer tape and some tissue paper. And then I'm using 2 different types of plastic bobbles. So the first thing we need to do before we start our project is just to measure the actual bobbles to make sure we know exactly what size of text we need to add to the top. So if I take the big one, I would say we shouldn't go for text bigger than about 2.5 inches wide and 2 inches high. And then the smaller one, probably about 2 inches wide and 1.5 inch high. When you open Design Space, click on the New Project tab on the top. And then we're just going to add some text onto our bubbles. Click on the text box and then go up to Fonts, click on the down arrow. And the font that I'm going to use today is a font called Hello that I downloaded from the font for free. So any font that you download from an external site will come up under the Systems tab at the top. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm just going to type in my font name and there we go. So I'm just making generic bubbles today and I just want them to say things like joy, merry, etc. But you can change it, you can personalize it, write in people's names, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to double click on that and type joy. You can right click on it and say duplicate, double click on that and say merry. Okay, so I'm just going to do these 2 for now. Before we go ahead and make these, I'm just going to resize them to fit onto my bubbles. So I'm going to put the joy on the smaller bubble, and that was about 1.5 by 1.5. So I'm going to just click on that and go up to the top and change the width to 1.5. And that will automatically change the height as long as the lock is locked. If I click on Mary, I don't want to make it wider than 2 inches. So I'm going to click on 2. And it's automatically going to change it to 1 inch high. You can now go ahead and click on the Make It button. I'm going to use permanent vinyl, so I'm clicking on Matte. I'm using a 12 by 12 inch mat, and I can say Confirm. What I'm going to do over here is just move the word Mary past the 4 inch line, and in that way I can add 2 different pieces of color vinyl to my mat. So the one in the corner over here will probably be green, and I'll add another piece of red vinyl on the 4 inch line. You can now check our settings on the left hand side. It's a basic cut on matte, 12 by 12, and we don't have to mirror our image. You can say continue. To set our base material, I'm going to say browse all materials, all categories, click on the down arrow, go down to vinyl. I'm using premium vinyl permanent glossy. I'm going to tick on that and say done. My pressure I'll leave as default, and I'm using my fine point blade. I can now go ahead, add my vinyl to my mat and insert my mat into my machine. Once your mat has been measured, you can go and make your cut. Once your cut has been completed, eject your mat and weed your designs. We can now go ahead and add our transfer tape to the top of our vinyl design. Just use the scraper tool on the top and the bottom to make sure that it sticks properly. And then you can go ahead and remove your backing. There we go. Oh. So before I add my design to my actual bubble, there's just two things I want to do. So I'm just going to use this to center my bubble. And then the first thing I want to do is I want to just spray it down with a little isopropyl alcohol and rub it with a coffee filter, just to remove any pieces of lint or anything that will affect your design. There we go. And then we're going to use the wet method to apply our design. So you just take a little bit of water that has a dash of dishwashing liquid and spray it on top. And then you add your design. You can now go and slowly remove your transfer paper. And then dry your bubble. There we go. In order to finish this bubble, what I want to do is I want to put some tissue paper inside and put a ribbon on top. So I'm just going to take some tissue paper, tear it up, crunch it up a little bit, and then when you open your bubble, you can squeeze it in there. So now go ahead and close your bubble again. I'm literally just going to add a little bit of hot glue to the back and add it onto my bubble. And there you have it. Quick and easy Christmas ornaments as part of day 5 of the Cricut Christmas Crafting Challenge. See you again on Monday.